Hello? I just want to say what a privilege it is to stand here and give my testimony tonight and be asked to. The Lord's been unbelievably good in my life since getting saved, and it's a real privilege to give it tonight. My story of God's goodness in my life started right at the very start. When I was about a week or two due, mum and dad were obviously visiting the midwife and stuff and checking up, and now the wee midwife was going on holiday over the weekend, so said, "Well, we'll meet again on Wednesday, on Monday," and said, if you need anything, sure, pop in or should be fine till Monday, it's over the weekend. So mum and dad went about it, and on the Saturday morning, I believe, now I could be telling the story a bit wrong, but on the Saturday morning, mum had no physical symptoms, no problems at all, no reason to be worried, but felt a real burden. She went to go to the doctor and just get checked out for a bit of peace of mind and go about their Saturday. The doctor said to her that I was in distress after doing some tests, there was some serious stress, and I needed to get out within the next hour or so. So they performed a C-section and got me out, and that was it. I was all fine and dead on. The Lord taught the mum that mum to feel that way, and she was really, obviously that's a great story of God's goodness in my life. Because if I had waited one day, I wouldn't be here today standing. So I grew up obviously, my dad being a pastor, grew up in a Christian household, and I was an unbelievable family, like a loving family, never wanted for anything, never ever any trouble growing up or anything, just really loving family. I was very blessed with that. I grew up over in Hull, for those that don't know. Hull is notoriously a very, how do you say it, it's not very common to be a Christian, it's not a very godly place. Growing up for school, I was the only person who went to church. I was the only one that ever went to church, or one of very few. And as I grew up, I went into my latter primary school age, going to secondary school, I started to resent it a wee bit, because as any kid, I just wanted to be normal. I just wanted to be, I was very popular in school, but I'd get a wee bit of stick and stuff, and I started to resent it a wee bit. I could never play football on Sunday, I could never be part of any competitive football or anything like that. And I kind of started to blame church a wee bit. I was kind of blaming God a wee bit, and I never really grasped it. And I enjoyed going to church at the time. I always loved going and seeing my mates and stuff, but throughout the week, Monday to Friday, I always it's kind of embarrassed when anyone brought it up or anything like that. So when I was 16, mum and dad always said that they'd let me make my own choice whether I would go to church, and I'm rightly so. And not long after, I chose to go away from church, and I saw it as my opportunity to try and be normal, my opportunity to try and be like everyone else, and do everything my friends are doing. And this led into me starting to drink from when I was just after I turned 16 and stuff, going to house parties, and obviously that was a great part of mum and dad. And mum and dad obviously, they did find out for a wee while, and when they did find out, it was obviously a lot of friction and stuff, and they told me what I was doing was wrong, but they couldn't stop me at the end of the day. They did it very slyly and told lies and did stuff I'm not proud of. And as I carried on, I started getting more closed off to the things of God. I started to have debates with mum and dad about things, and say about, well, hang on, if God's real, how can this happen? If God's real, how can this happen? And well, who created God? And all sort of questions that I think anyone growing up maybe has. I tried to rationalise it. It's always a thing growing up, especially in this generation, is that you've got to critique everything. You have to critique everything when you're growing up and stuff, and that's what they teach you in the schools. I did religious studies at A-level, and learned all these arguments from all these psychologists about religion and God, and I never really grasped it, to be honest. I never had an experience when I was growing up that maybe grasp that it was real. So I was using all these weird things, and I ended up getting A in the religious studies A level anyway, so it didn't really matter. So I went on, anyway, I carried on, and I went on to uni, and obviously going to uni and stuff, I had my own freedom. I felt like I was moved away from home, moved to Sheffield, and had my own freedom, and I felt I could do whatever I wanted in my own place. And I did what any uni student does when they grow up, when they go into uni, first 2 years, or going out drinking, doing this, that, or other thing. And these waking up in the middle of the night, just waking up in the middle of the night and being really, really, really like petrified of death, like unbelievably so, in terms of I was living my life as if nothing was happening after death, and I was really uncomfortable with that. And I just I really, really struggled with that, and that carried on until I came over for summer before I went over to third year. And I also went back over here at this point, and I remember I started to come to PCN a wee bit, not regular, but it was come maybe once every 3-4 weeks or something. And I would have said at the time, I was coming from mum and dad, I was coming just, but there was someone inside me every time I came here, every time I sat down there and heard the word of God, I did feel a conviction, but there was always something holding me back. I was like, I'm trying to rationalise that you're only feeling this because of this and whatever else. So, I was, if I'm honest, I was also afraid of what my friends would think. I was afraid of what my girlfriend would think. I was afraid of all that. So I went back to uni in my third year, and within the first month I got myself in a real bad state with a mixture of drinks and drugs, and I ended up in the back of a St. John's ambulance, and that really frightened me. I mean, it just, I realised how kind of fragile I was, and how what I was doing was really dangerous. However, I couldn't bring myself to stop it. I couldn't bring myself to stop living that way. I was too frightened of, well, what will people think? What will this happen? So I just carried on going about it, and carried on living a new lifestyle. And this carried on until 2 or 3 months before I was meant to leave uni. I had a night planned with my mate to go see this DJ that night. If anyone knows that like drugs and all that go hand in hand. I wasn't massively into all that, and I didn't know what I was doing and stuff, and I felt a real worry over myself the night before. I was out walking over in Sheffield, and I don't know where, like, I don't over exaggerate and stuff like this, and I wouldn't say it, but I walked past the Salvation Army, and inside the Salvation Army window was a wee light, and something struck in my heart. It really did, and I prayed, Lord, if you're there and there is a God, will you reveal yourself to me? So, and literally within this, like, that second of me opening my eyes, I had a text from my dad, and I said 11 o'clock at night. My dad never texted me that time, but like, at this point I hadn't spoken to my dad for about, we usually speak on the phone with text or anything when I was over in uni. And I just said, thinking about your son, are you okay? And I just, this is ridiculous, like, but again, I tried to rationalise that, well, he's just wondering how you are, and that's just a coincidence, and it's like that. So, a few months later, I went again to another festival and stuff, carried on, and I got myself into a really bad mess, and I was just fed up at this point. This is a week before I had to be picked up to go home back home here and finish my degree and everything. And on the Monday morning, I was getting the train back to Sheffield from Manchester, and I just remember thinking, I looked at, there was a homeless person on the street, and I remember thinking, I gotta be where you are right now. I just spent 3 days, something I was looking forward to for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I was thinking, what way am I living here if I'm thinking this? I'm spending this amount of money and getting myself in a real mess. And I felt real conviction, remembered the gospel, remembered everything like that, but it still wasn't real in my heart. On the Friday night before my dad came up, hit me up on the Saturday, I typed in to YouTube, People's Church Newton Abbey. And the first sermon that came up was The Insanity of Sin by Pastor George. It was all about the prodigal son and how the prodigal son went away to the far country and spent his inheritance, put everything into it, and was left disappointed. It was about the fact that he's so into sin and reaped destruction, and the unhappiness came more and more. So I felt, like 40 minutes, I really felt convicted. I mean, I felt like it was literally speaking to me straight through that message. And that Friday, I just prayed. I felt convicted, but I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to give up on my past things. I didn't want to give up on it. And I tried rationalising it, and I carried on. And then on the Saturday, my dad picked me up, and we just had a day together. And I didn't mention it to my dad. I didn't want to get his hopes up in case I just ended up balling or something, or doing something stupid. And I just didn't want to get him involved. And so the next morning, it was a Sunday morning, and I said to my dad, I'll come here, I come to BCN, it was Father's Day. And I said, I can come, and he was like, you sure you don't want to come? My mum said, you sure you don't want to come on Sunday night and you get asleep? I said, no, I want to come on Sunday morning. Turned up on Sunday morning, and my dad was speaking, and he spoke from Luke 15, 11 to 32, which, for those who don't know, is the prodigal son, which I had listened to 2 days before, which that sermon was 3 years old. At this point, I couldn't keep rationalising it. I couldn't keep saying that it was a coincidence. I mean, like, it was absolutely ridiculous, all the chances on that. And I've really felt like no return to the presence of God. That morning, I gave my heart to the Lord, and I gave up everything. I chose to follow Him, and because ultimately I believed it was beyond reasonable doubt. I could not rationalise it anymore. It's beyond rationale. It was absolutely, I was living a life I wasn't happy with, and I chose to give my heart to the Lord. Now, I really struggled maybe the first couple of weeks and stuff, because I listened to testimonies over and over again, being in church and stuff, and everyone says about the change happening. Initially, I just felt like me. I just felt the same. But I just knew there was hope in my heart. There was something there. There was no flashing lights. There was no bells in my ears or anything. And like I really struggled to tell people face to face. But I was still clinging on to try to stay normal. I still wanted people to respect me and people to think of me this way. But I just tried finding my feet, tried to keep going, and the morning of the baptismal service, I chose to get baptised. I was wrestling with that, and I chose to get baptised. I chose to give my all into the Lord because He saved me, and I knew I had to do it. So I went and got baptised, and I just prayed that from now on, this will be it, and I'll keep going, and it just gave me the strength to tell people face to face. Go ahead, and the very next day, I actually came in conversation with some of my workmates, and I was able to tell face to face that I was going to church and I became a Christian, and I changed things. And ultimately, over the past year of being saved, it's on some of the things He's done is unspeakable in terms of some of the chains of sin He's broken in my life. He really has. I mean, like, I can't overestimate how it's supernatural it is in terms that I wasn't able to change any of it. Like, I tried when I wasn't saved, and so I tried changing stuff, and I just didn't have the power myself. But you really did give me the power. The dad told me to pray something on the way back from the car, from once he got saved, and it was pray that the Lord change my desires, and I really believe He has. Like, now I don't really care about being normal. In fact, I actually want to be different from the world. I finally wise up and realise it. Yeah, so like, and that's like anyone knows that's a real like Like that's not from me. That's supernatural completely, and it's not some sort of way. Like I told my testimony to someone before, and they said like, "Oh, it's really, really good you turn your life around," and this, that, or other thing. It's nothing about me. It's nothing to do with me turning my life around or anything like that. The Lord changed my life, and the Lord chose to change my life, and that's it. At the end of the day, so that's my testimony. Thank you for listening.